Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. This is another episode of FBI Friday where we will look into some brand new cases or some previous cases that have been mentioned before at the federal level when it comes to crimes against children. Thank you very much, Jersey, for dropping the link for the book. I much appreciate it. I really appreciate everybody here for these ones. I really do. I'm running a little bit late today, but I'm here now. Well, go ahead. I'm getting my filters lined up here. National Missing Children's Day is the 25th of this month, I do believe. Yes, it is. The 25th of this month. So everybody pay attention to that. Oh my God, dude. What do they call them? Violent crimes? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Temper? What's up, GTK? Dropping in to say good morning and hit that like. I appreciate it. Hey, GTK, what's up, Jersey Sergeant? Hey, Jersey. Addy Bug. Good morning, Addy. Let me drop the link. What the fuck, man? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Holy crap. fucking land, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. This shit pisses me off so bad. Okay. There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm getting my shit together. Let me introduce you to this piece of crap. Donovan Nungaska, 31, of Alaska. They're seeking to identify potential victims of Donovan from Alaska. This week, a federal grand jury in the District of Alaska returned an indictment against Donovan, charging him with 1 count of production of child pornography and 1 count possession of child pornography. The FBI arrested Donovan on April 28, 2025 for allegedly having sexually explicit conversations with a minor online. As previously announced by the U.S. Attorney's Office and the District of Alaska as part of Operation Restore Justice, a joint initiative to identify and arrest those accused of child exploitation crimes. If you or your minor dependent or dependents have information concerning Donovan's alleged actions, please contact the FBI Anchorage Field Office at 907-276-4441 or anonymously online at tips.fbi.gov. The FBI is legally mandated to identify victims of federal crimes and it investigates. Victims may be eligible for certain services, restitution, and rights under federal and or state law. All identities of victims will be kept confidential. An indictment is merely an allegation, and all defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. You don't look like he's a very nice guy. You definitely don't look like he's a very nice guy. Silver Springs man pleads guilty to sextortion of more than 100 minors located throughout the United States and abroad. Wednesday, May 21st, 2025, for immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, District Office of Maryland. Greenbelt, Maryland. Chase Williams Mulligan, 28, of Silver Springs, Maryland, pled guilty to 2 counts of producing child sexual abuse material and in federal court, abuse material in federal court. The charges are in connection with a scheme in which he met young girls through social media and internet chat rooms and eventually sextorted them. Specifically, through the scheme, Mulligan coerced at least 108 girls ranging from ages 5 to 17 to send him sexually explicit photographs and videos of themselves. When the girls told him they no longer wanted to send him sexually graphic images, Mulligan threatened to post the images online or come to their house. Kelly O. Hayes, U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland, announced the guilty plea with Special Agent in Charge William J. Del Bagno of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI Baltimore Field Office. Mulligan used manipulation, fear, and intimidation to exploit over 100 young victims. Now we must ensure that we send a clear message to Mulligan and others that those who abuse the most vulnerable members of communities will pay a steep price. Hayes said, We're committed to working with our law enforcement partners and to relentlessly pursue, prosecute, and bring to justice those who engage in these deplorable acts. Chase Mulligan is a depraved and dangerous predator. He used social media to target, viciously threaten, and horribly abuse more than 100 minor victims, one as young as 5 years old, Del Bagno said. His abhorrent behavior is not diminished by the fact he was thousands of miles away and never met his victim. Rather, it's the opposite. Despite his distance, he presents a serious threat to any child he can access through the internet. The FBI works diligently every day to find and arrest predators like Mulligan so they can no longer prey on innocent children. As detailed in the plea agreement, which is fucking wrong, between at least 2019 and December 2023, Mulligan used numerous Snapchat, Discord, Roblox, Skype, Omegle, and Instagram accounts to target young girls. He convinced minors living in the United States, Canada, Denmark, Spain, Philippines, Australia, and United Kingdom to produce and send him sexually explicit images. Mulligan also directed minors to expose their genital areas and engage in sexual conduct. Additionally, Mulligan coerced multiple girls to urinate on camera, insert objects into their genitalia, and participate in sexual acts with dogs. After some victims informed Mulligan that they no longer wished to send him sexually explicit images, he threatened to publicly post the images or come to their homes. Mulligan wanted the victims to send more images depicting increasingly graphic sexual conduct. As part of his plea agreement, which I still stand tough that shouldn't have had a plea agreement, Mulligan must register as a sex offender in places where he resides, is an employee, and is a student under the Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act. Mulligan is facing a minimum of 15 years and a statutory maximum of 60 years in federal prison. U.S. District Judge Theodore C. Chewing scheduled sentencing for Wednesday, August 27th at 2:30 p.m. We will have to keep an eye on this one. Let me ask you guys, what do you think a proper sentence for that guy is? What do you think would be a proper sentence for that guy? What's up, Justine? Right? What a scumbag. Poor kids. Y'all can click on that link and come on up here. You know how I hate being on panel by myself. Liked and shared. Awesome. Thank you, Justine. I appreciate it. Hey, Sergeant Modog. Hey, Addie Bud. Wood chipper feet first. That sounds good to me. No, he doesn't. That's about how I feel, Justine. He hasn't been sentenced yet. His sentence will be in August. Roblox, yep. Yeah. Plea agreement? Yeah, not happy about it. That should never happen with such a monster. You're right. You're absolutely right. Like the chair, HGK, LOL. What's up, Justine? Black Needle, huh? Jersey, Death by Wood Chipper. Hey, Justine, send him to the hole. Make him swim to Alcatraz. I say tie a millstone around his neck and drop him to the depths of the ocean. How about that one? How about it? We're sending him to the Black Ocean. G2K, that's good. Yep, have him tie a millstone around their neck and drop him to the depths of the ocean. I would say it sounds justified to me. Well, if nobody wants to come up here, I guess I'll just keep on chugging on. I'm sure we'll cover this guy again when it comes down to August. Missouri man sentenced to overnight, sentenced to 230 months in prison for transporting minor for sex. Tuesday, May 20th, 2025, for immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Eastern District of Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri, U.S. District Henry E. Autry on Tuesday sentenced a man who admitted transporting a minor across state lines for sex to 230 months in prison. Scott M. Arnold Mickey, 48, of Rolla, Missouri, met the 17-year-old victim in 2021 and took him to Chicago, where they used drugs and engaged in sexual acts. Arnold engaged in drug use with the victim and on an almost daily basis after Arnold Mackey moved from Sullivan, Missouri to Rolla. Arnold, 48, pleaded guilty in January to one count of transportation of a minor to engage in sexual and criminal sex acts. The case was investigated by the FBI and the Rolla Police Department with assistance from the Phelps County Sheriff's Department. Assistant U.S. Attorney Diane Edwards prosecuted the case. The FBI is unrelenting when it comes to protecting children, said Special Agent in Charge Chris Crocker of the FBI St. Louis Division. I commend those who brought this crime to light in order to get this child predator off the streets and in prison where he belongs. I say throw this son of a bitch with a millstone tied around his neck and drop him to the bottom of the ocean. That's what I say. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's a good enough sentence, so 19 years, or put a 2 in the chat if you think he should have been dropped to the bottom of the ocean with the millstone tied around his neck. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have the link. I forgot to click send. What a jackass. I'm actually working, or I would. All right, well, that's fine. I'll come up, but I don't see a link. Well, I just dropped it, okay? Don't yell at me. Let me guess. He said the drugs made him do all that. Probably so. No, it was the so-called pieces, right? Let's see that face. All right. Thank you. Hi, Addie.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Right? Dropped into the ocean with the big old millstone. That's what I say. Number 2 in the chat. That's what I'm saying right there. Drop his ass in the middle of the ocean and let God sort him out.
Just put him in a fish tank of piranhas.
Yeah, well, there's that. Waste of skin and air. Yes, indeed. And moving on. Let's read about this puke bag. Missouri registered sex offender charged with distributing and receiving child pornography. Tuesday, May 20th, 2025, for immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Western District of Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri. A Kansas City, Missouri man was indicted by a federal grand jury on charges related to child pornography. According to an indictment returned this week, Jeffrey Lynn Petrie, 40, of Kansas City, Missouri, was charged with one count of distributing child pornography over the internet in May 2024, and one count of receiving child pornography from December 9th, 2024 to December 10th, 2024. The indictment replaces a complaint originally filed on Friday, April 25th, 2025, according to an affidavit filed in support of the criminal complaint. Law enforcement officers received a cyber tip reporting that a user, Kinky Popper, 69, was uploading video files depicting child sex abuse material. Petrie was later identified as the user Kinky Popper 69. On April 24th, 2025, the FBI conducted a search of Petrie's residence and seized a cell phone and other electronic devices. Petrie is a registered sex offender in Missouri based on prior convictions of child molestation and in the second degree. Is there rehabilitation for these guys? No, there's not. The charges contained in this indictment are simply blah, 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 blah. He's guilty. He's guilty. See, Addie, this is a common thing around here with these kind of parasites. I like calling them parasites because that's what they are to me. It's a parasite. But these parasites, you'll see more and more often that they're not only, this isn't their first time they get caught. Some of these guys are on probation still. Some of them are just got out on parole. Some of these guys are still on the sex offender registry, and they're out there doing it again.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
So
Hogpin sounds better, Addie. Hey, make it squeal like a piggy. I like it.
I was going to write something in the chat, and then I changed my mind because it's a little much.
Well, speak your mind. Speak your mind. That's what we do around here.
Because people do this and a lot of people get hurt or die at this point, they should honestly deserve as much pain as possible. And I was going to write, put a rat in a jar and attach the jar to the person's face and let nature take its course. Because the rat will be forced to eat his face.
I like it. I'm down for it. I said let them all fucking fry.
They deserve the worst punishment.
Yep. Yeah, rehab don't work for these parasites. That's right. Prior felon pleads guilty to child pornography charge. To new child pornography charge. Come on, you slow ass computer. Prior felon pleads guilty to new child pornography charge. Tuesday, May 20th, 2025, for immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Western District of New York. Buffalo, New York. U.S. Attorney Michael DiGiacomo announced Tuesday that Nicholas Mangione, 44, of Buffalo, New York, pleaded guilty before U.S. District Judge Lawrence J. Vallardo to possession of child pornography following a prior conviction, which carries a mandatory minimum penalty of 10 years in prison and a maximum of 20 years and a fine of $250,000. Assistant U.S. Attorney Aaron J. Mango, who handled the case, stated that in April 2013, Mangione was convicted of possession of child pornography and sentenced to serve 48 months in prison. Oh boy, 2 years. On August 15th, 2024, a federal search warrant was executed at Mangione's residence after it was discovered he uploaded a file containing child pornography to the Snapchat server. During the search, Mangione's cellular telephone was seized. An examination of the device uncovered approximately 20 images and 52 videos of child pornography. It was also determined that Mangione's distributed child pornography to other individuals using the Telegram application in exchange for other child pornographic files. We see a pattern going on here, ladies and gentlemen? I know I do. On August 16, 2024, the defendant was arrested in New York State charges and was found to be in possession of an additional cell phone, which also contained images and videos of child pornography. Some of the child pornography possessed by Mangione depicted the sexual exploitation of an infant or toddler and depictions of violence against children. The plea is a result of an investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigation under the direction of Special Agent in Charge Matthew Mariel and the New York State Police under the direction of Major Amy Furolato. Sentencing is scheduled for September 30th, 2025 at 9:30 before Judge Villardo. We should all write letters to this judge in New York and say, hey, make an example out of this piece of shit and nail his balls to the wall. What do you think? Did you guys write the last letters last week? Put one in the chat if you guys all wrote your letters last week. What's up, Queen? CFM's Queen's here.
Yeah.
Cole Casper, what's up, man? Deceased predators don't reoffend. Hey, you're fit right into this community, my friend. 100%.
Did you say an infant?
Yes. See, sweetheart. See, a lot of these parasites around that are here that I'll read about, and a lot of these parasites that have been caught and that I won't read about, like they legitimately will go for prepubescent and toddlers, infants. I did a case. Hi, Temper. I did a case about 5-6 months ago. I did a case about 5-6 months ago about a parasite who was in court for orally choking his 6-week-old daughter to death.
What?
Yes.
You can't be serious.
Oh my god.
Yes. Yes. Serious as shit. No joke. 100%. They're horrible.
It's foul. It's so messed up.
But you were saying earlier, you was reading G2, you were saying prior. Why is it prior? Why it can't be a one-time thing and done? There is no prior. There is no coming back.
I agree, Temper. And I ask myself that question every single time I read one of these cases, my friend.
And not to throw no conspiracy theories out there, but it makes you wonder, how deep does this sleeper cell go? Because, I mean, how deep does it run? Because, I mean, to give these people a slap on the wrist for the heinous crimes they've just committed are not against adults. I mean, Adi just said, toddlers, infants? Like, there is no excuse. There is no excuse. What's going on is the real question. What is going on?
These people are ruining kids' lives. Like, those kids are gonna have trauma and it's stuck with that for the rest of their lives.
And who knows what they're going to grow up to be, the type of mind frame they're going to be in. Because, I mean, it's basically damaged products.
Yeah, and they're gonna shut.
And you know what Oprah Winfrey said about these guys? Well, at least the child won't remember it because they're too young to remember those kind of things.
What?
And, oh yeah, and she also said, well, if a predator is good at what they do, you'll never even know they did it. What the fuck?
What?
Why would you even say that on worldwide television?
Why is that the mindset?
Yeah.
Why is that the mindset?
Oh yeah.
It's like me saying, like, oh, if I go outside and I shoot somebody and nobody knows, it's fine.
And you know what's supposed to really happen? The minute she made that statement, a whole heap of flying tomatoes come on that stage.
Oh yeah.
She's, she's supposed to get a run out there from supposed to be attack of the fruits, vegetables, carrots, everything get thrown at the stage. Because I mean, to make that statement, you have to be among some real mindless people, people who are not thinking.
Yep. Absolutely correct. I couldn't believe it when I seen it myself.
It's so messed
But
up. Why are people so messed up now these days? It makes no sense. It's like,
well,
have
I can
some
answer
type of
that later.
dignity.
This what happens when men become lovers of themselves rather than lovers of God. To be
Yep.
honest,
All right, Addie, can you see that?
Hold on, I'm split screened right now. I'm doing school on
Okay.
this. Hold on. Yes.
Okay, you're up. You got to read it, girl.
Oh, all of it?
Yep.
Okay. New Orleans resident sentenced to 10 years in federal prison for possession and receipt of online child sexual abuse material. Oh gosh. Monday, May 19, 2025 for immediate release. U.S. Attorney's Office, Eastern District of Louisiana. New Orleans, LA Acting U.S. Attorney Mitchell M. Simpson announced today that Stephen DeBond,
Addin?
Adden, age 35 of New Orleans, was sentenced on May 13, 2025 to 120 months imprisonment, followed by 25 years of supervised release by U.S. District Judge J.C. Zaney, after previously pleading guilty to receipt of child pornography and distribution of child pornography, both in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 2252A2 and B1. Additionally, Abdon was ordered to pay $86,500 in restitution to numerous victims, as well as $100 mandatory special assessment fee. According to court documents, the case against Abdon stemmed from an online child sexual abuse material (CSAM) investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) on August 2nd, 2023. FBI specialist agent executed a federal search warrant on Barron's New Orleans home. FBI against seized 4 electronic devices from Abdon's residence and subsequently located over 88,000 files of CSAM materials throughout the 4 devices. Abdon was subsequently arrested by the FBI.
Okay, let's take this into perspective, okay, everybody? This motherfucker, 88,000 files of CSAM material. He got 10 years. Where's the justice in that?
He should have had 50.
He should have been buried under the fucking prison.
Or buried in the walls.
88,000 files of CSAM. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's good enough. That's a good enough sentence. Or put a 2 in the chat if you think this is bullshit and you should have got sentenced to fucking death.
Take him to the Black Sea and see if he survives in the water.
Yeah. Thank you for reading that. Thank you for reading that, Addie. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Welcome, Mike D. I'm glad you caught it. Glad you made it. Yep.
all I can say is This is a perfect example of what's really wrong, because this guy got a slap on the wrist, and for some, which I heard you was reading earlier, G2, you was saying some guys got a plea bargain and they actually like wanted to, it sounded like they wanted to work with that person to get other person. So I'm like, that still ain't good enough for me. I don't care how many fish you trying to reel in on one piece of bait.
Yeah,
It's still not good enough for me.
it's not good
Because
enough
when
for
I look
me.
at children, children ain't asked to be here. And when a human being, a fully functioning adult,
Exactly, Mike D. See, Mike D hit the nail right on the fucking head with the hammer. He says each file can contain multiple images, and I guarantee you, each file contains multiple images,
yeah,
if not
there's no excuse for this.
hundreds of images. So the 88,000 is a lowball number from actual items. We're probably talking 888,000 images.
Probably got to times that by 10.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I say. That's what I tell everybody. Like when it comes to these statistics, whatever number you see, multiply it by 10, and that's closer to the actual number of what it is. And that's
Do
not
they
bull.
think that just a few years in prison, these people are gonna change? Because they're not. It's what they do. They basically just be like, oh, put them here, and they'll be better once they leave. They really won't. They'll probably be 10 times worse because they'll be deprived of it. So they're gonna want it even more. So they'll go worse with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if that was a spoiler alert or not, but that's actually some raw facts, because we just read it, and then prior, that means you do it, you did your time, you felt it out. Oh, I could do this again and come back and do the same time. So what happens? You become a repeat. You do it again.
when there
What's
is
worse is
when there's no when the punishment does not make a person okay. A person commits a crime and they get sentenced to whatever, okay, in prison, right? When you commit a crime, there's a penalty for it. That penalty is supposed to be designed to make that person deter from committing that crime in the first place, or make the criminal not want to repeat the crime to do it again. So when you continually slap these parasites on the hand and give them bullshit sentences, where's the lesson? What are they? They're not learning shit. They're not getting it through their thick fucking skulls. They don't care.
they're giving them like it's like if you ground a child, basically. You ground them and say, don't do it again. They're gonna do it again.
Oh yeah.
There's you don't when are people going to understand like that people like this affect people's lives? Like those kids are going to forever be haunted by it. There's no recovery to that. No recovery. They're going to end up either with mental health issues or trust issues and all this stuff. And as a 17-year-old, I can admit to it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
As of almost
Especially
46-year-old, I can tell you right now that the struggle is real, and every single fucking day is a challenge to get through because of this act.
and it's so hard to make friends online too because you have people like this, so you never really know the truth. Someone could be like, oh yeah, this and this, and you think they're best friends, and then comes out, oh, it's a 55-year-old man. You know, your crush, your trust issues go down the drain, and you just learn not to trust anybody, and you climb into a deep dark hole and you don't talk to people. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, there are a lot of kids that I know that have had this problem, including me. I have trust issues, and I will forever have trust issues because of stuff like this. So
Yep. And the aftermath that each victim has, it's there's no way to put it into words, because you have no idea what damage you've caused to the child. And like every time a pedophile makes a victim, they're making the person they violated a victim, and every other person that child meets in their future a victim. Like my kids were a victim of me being sexually abused before I even knew I was going to have kids. All of my friends, my family, like all of them were victims of what he did to me because I got trust issues, because I got all these other kinds of issues. You know what I mean? Like the list of victims is endless.
Because what I was thinking about for the few couple of minutes is how children live what they learn, and all of us are adults at this present point, and we didn't just appear the size. We born and grow, we had to endure, we had to make it to where we at now. And I was thinking about the many cases where you have children that are found not even abandoned, but living with so-called adults doing these things to them. And it just shows me how, a lot of people never do it. And I agree with you, CMF Queen. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of adults hurt too. A lot of adults hurting, and it's sad to know this is the way some people take it out. A lot of people have to live what they learn, so they learn through hurt. So through hurt, they give pain. And this is a sad reality we're dealing with right now because, these children grow up to be adults, and these adults are monsters.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you, basically 80% or 90% of these people who doing these crimes right now, these children who were hurt before, because you just don't learn this. You just don't pick this up.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not something that you just go out and do because you're curious about shit. Like, in order for somebody to carry this stuff on, like they have to have been. This has to have been taught to them.
Exactly. As a young man, I people will say, "Oh, I always talking in parables or riddles or whatever." But I kind of discipline myself to a certain level that if I say something, it's because I actually live it. I tell
Yeah.
people it's not my job. I mean, people will go against it, but I look at it from a common sense point of view. It's God's job to forgive you, not mine. Me forgiving you does not stop you from getting into heaven. My opinion for that is simple. Like how I know you now, G2K. If I was to come on panel and insult you and insult your family and stuff like that, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't care what I come with after that. Why? Because I know you and I'm in my sound mind. I know what I am about to do is wrong. And I know I would be violating and disrespecting. So I would never cross the line with no one. So when I
Yeah.
say I don't forgive, it's because I don't do foolish things to cause myself to be in that state. So I live kind of disciplined. So when it comes to topic like these, I straight across the board. I have zero tolerance for people who prey on children, people who hurt children.
Amen.
Zero tolerance.
Amen. Amen. See, Addie, this is what I'm talking like I'm not gonna sit here and try to force you to say anything, but this is the channel. Like, if you want to say something, this is the place to do it. That's what I get. That's what I have this platform. That's what I'm on this platform for. That's what I do FBI Fridays and Awareness Mondays for. So people can say the things that they want to say that they can't say anywhere else. Nobody's gonna look down on you. Nobody's gonna judge you for the things that you say. Like, I think these motherfuckers should be like skinned alive and then cauterized and then fucking
Real
just
talk,
the worst of the
real
worst.
talk, bro.
You know what I mean? What was that? What was that, Tipper?
No, I say real talk, bro. Real talk.
Real talk. Real talk.
G2, in some countries you get catch doing them type of things, they execute you right away.
Yeah.
Is no law coming, or the law is coming, but by the time they get there, just the real justice would have been served.
Yeah. And here in America, you do that shit to one of these parasites, and you're gonna go to prison for a hate crime.
Exactly.
Where's the justice in that? There ain't none.
I could see the justice, but there's no J in that.
Yeah. And there's not. Plain and simple, there's not.
And the real deal is, it's a clear violation of the articles of human rights. They and heads of government, they stand to promote these rights. They stand to teach and educate these rights to us who under their jurisdiction. But we have to fight and agitate.
Yeah.
Article 1 say we all born with conscience and reason, and we should act towards one another in the spirit of brotherhood and love. So this, Rachel, is an act right now because standing for something that's going haywire, and no one seems to want to grab this thing by the horn. It's only your duty. You can't see wrong going by, and as a person of right, just stand by and allow it to just keep on progressing and progressing.
Yep. What's up, Mary Gemini? See, Addie, do you see what the real Justine says? She says, I sure wouldn't judge you for anything you had to say, Addie. I hate these fucking people, these fucking predators.
So look,
Hey,
I know
Gemini.
that your channel is a safe. I know your channel is like a safe place, and it's.
If you're worried about getting my channel in trouble or anything, you don't need to worry about that. I'll handle that shit.
No, it isn't that.
Okay.
It's.
What perspective you looking at it from?
What's that, Temper?
I was asking Addie, what perspective is she looking at it from?
Honestly, from personal experience.
I had a feeling.
That's like sweetheart. You don't have to. You do not have to speak about it if you don't want to, but just know that you're in a great place. You're surrounded by people who care about you. And remember when you first came around here, I kept on saying that I think there's a bigger reason why you were here, why you were brought to this channel. I know things, you know what I mean, and I understand that, and I know how hard it is. And by all means, if you don't feel comfortable talking about it right now, or you don't want to, don't. But just know that we're here anytime you want to talk about it, anytime you want to talk about part of it. You do it on your time.
It's not like a struggle for me to talk about it. It's the fact that more and more people are going through it, and they're not getting the help they need. Like, I didn't. When it happened to me, I completely shut down. Like, I completely shut down. I didn't. My mom was away at the time, so I was just with my dad and my cousin. I didn't talk to anybody about it. She came back and I completely blew up. I cried. I had panic attacks. Like, I couldn't breathe. And nobody did anything. My mom tried her hardest and everyone just dismissed it like it was nothing. Like, oh, it's just this, and this. Like, she'll get over it. No, people don't recover from that. They don't heal from that. It sticks with them and it becomes their personality because now they're afraid. Like, I'm afraid to go outside alone without either someone else with me or a dog with me because people are so messed up now these days. Like, it's a struggle for me. Struggle to get up out of bed. It physically hurts somebody on the inside and kills them within unless they physically say, like, I'm not gonna let this take over. I'm gonna keep being me, and I'm gonna do this, and this because this is how I can do better. And it took me 5 years. 5 years, and I'm 17. Like, it
Wow.
takes forever. It takes forever for somebody to physically heal from trauma like that. Trust is.
I'm 46. I'm 46,
gone.
sweetheart, and I'm still not healed from it.
Luckily, my parents gave me the space I needed and the support I needed, so it became easier. But it sticks with a person. You can't just do something and then be like, oh, they'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. You don't consider what your actions do. Like, there's a cause and an effect on the other person. You hurt one person and you keep doing it, you're destroying people's lives. Kids take their lives because of stuff like this. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
I know I have lost a lot of friends to that. A lot of friends. And it was horrible because they were great people, and I knew they were going to take their lives too because of how they acted. And people don't see these signs and they won't do anything. Even if I were to have tried, it still wouldn't change because nobody, no offense, but parents these days don't give a flying crap about their kids. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's the honest truth. When I was in school, the kids could do whatever. Like, their parents did not care. Like, oh, drugs, oh well, oh, drinking, oh well. Like, parents now these days just don't really care. And that means no offense to, not all parents, but like the parents that I've seen, like, they just don't care for the child's safety at all
Yeah, they
anymore.
don't.
And I'm so grateful that I have a mother who cares for my safety, and I have a father who is very protective with me, like very protective with me. Like, no Croc tops, baggy shirts, baggy pants when I go out with him. I only wear maybe a crop top with him when I'm with my mom, but that's because of how shirts are now these days. And even then, I wear a jacket around my waist because I'm so terrified. And it's a real thing. Like, my mother went through it. She went through it so bad that I'm so happy it didn't scar her. Her own father, let's put it that way, her own father did stuff to her that no one should have to go through. And every time she tells me that story, I break down because I feel so bad for her, because she became an amazing mother. Something that a lot of parents could not do for their kids and turn out to be amazing. And it takes real strength in order to do that. Like, real strength.
Well, Adi, sitting here listening to you, I am the type of person, I never want to jump out and fly out in someone's face and say, well, do this or do that, or I understand this or I understand that. All I could say is, if you didn't have the loving mom you had, the parents you have, the healing process, it could have been, much, much longer. And,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you've been doing as that led you up to this moment, I applaud you, strong sister. That's a good thing. And whatever it is that you've been doing, stay doing it. If you love connecting with real people, do that.
Oh,
If you love
wow.
God, do that. Whatever
Stick,
it is that you
stick,
love doing,
sorry.
stay doing it.
Sorry.
You know? Go ahead, DJ.
Stick Solid said, shout out for sharing your story. It needs to be talked about. And if you knew Stick, that's not like a normal comment he'd make. He's kind of like he likes to joke around and he doesn't take shit seriously unless it's this subject. So him giving you a shout out like that, bro, that's awesome right there.
Thank
I agree.
you.
I agree, Stick
And
Solid.
if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and I feel like people who do this to children need to understand that these kids are completely destroyed for life. I ended up in, well, it wasn't necessarily because of it, but it led up to it. I ended up in a mental facility because I was so messed up. I couldn't think straight. I was so scared that I would lock myself in my room and not get up at all. Now, I did get help there, and I'm happy I got the help, but it's something that I regret because it affects others. But when you get help, when you find a way to help yourself, even if it's spend hours alone thinking or writing or drawing or whatever, you're building up your own confidence. You have to, constantly tell yourself, like, hey, this will not affect me, this, and it takes forever. And I'm really happy that I was able to overcome it because I'm so low. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't been able to take much more of it if I kept letting it affect me the way it did. I just kept telling myself, like, get up. You're somebody's daughter. You're loved. You're smart. You're kind. You're this. And to be honest, was the only reason why I kept fighting it. And I feel like children are doing that.
I'll say this right now, Addie. Like, I wish I wish I would have had your strength when I was your age. Because see, I kept all my shit bottled up and bottled in until I was 16. And it's really hard on a person.
I didn't really have much of a choice. I knew that if I would have outed myself, I knew the effects it would have on my mother and my father. And my father has severe Parkinson's. So I knew that I needed to be here. Like, I knew I didn't have a choice. Like, going offing myself was not an option for me because I couldn't do that to my family. Like, I knew that. And not doing so, and I came to my mom and I was like, hey, like, I'm feeling like this, and this, and this, and I've done this, and this to myself. Like, she immediately was like actually would listen and sit down and we would talk for hours. And once that happened, it completely changed everything. You know, I got more open with my parents. I felt more safe. I felt less vulnerable. Like, I was still super uptight, but my trust slowly came back for other people. And although going to public school did ruin that for me again, and my trust is under the water, you learn and you live. You just gotta keep going. You can't let stuff like this continually affect you because it's gonna break you down and kill you from the inside.
Oh yeah, Addie. That's unfortunately there's a lot of people that will never realize that. But look at all this love you're getting in the chat. Look at all this chat.
Through it all, you got a big brother in me as well, because each one teach one, iron sharpen iron. Life is all about balance. No man is an island. No woman is an island. You're not even a key. So each one teach one. The more we pull together, the happier we'll be.
Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Absolutely. I'll even.
But I can't.
My heart looks so funny looking. Such a weird hand. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Justine. I appreciate it. I hope they find the channel too. I really do.
And that's what it takes for now, a solid stand.
Yeah.
What your logo say? Stop. That's all it takes right now. Everyone to put their foot down and say, you know what, time to put a stop to this.
That's what the stop stands for in my channel. On my channel.
That's what I mean.
Get to know stop. Stop stands for stand tough on pedophilia. Stop. Stand tough on pedophilia. Put our fucking foot.
That's why I say it like that. Say it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. As the world turns, brother, it could get brighter and brighter because the heat's starting to turn up. The heat's starting to turn up.
It's been a long battle, but it's been worth it.
Enjoy the spoils while you can.
For sure.
I think you're very, very strong, J2K. You're G2. I keep saying J2K. I'm so sorry, G2K. I think you're very, very strong for making this platform, and because you have experience with it, you're comfortable enough to relate and talk about it and attempt to help others as well. Like, I'm gonna be so real with you. I'm really happy Queen got me onto this platform because it's really hard to find good platforms. And when I found Queen's, I was super happy and felt safe. She helped me with a lot of confidence. And watching your videos really helps me. Like, hey, like, others go through this crap. Like, Everyone,
Yeah, there's a lot more of us out there that have gone through this than people would like to think. That people will never understand exactly how many people are out there that are just like this that will never come forward and talk about it.
you know,
Like for me, that's why I don't really be negative to people, or, be that negative person, because words affect people so much, and when someone comes and speak to you, you have no clue of what draw that or what drew that person to you. It could be your aura, it could be your mannerism, it could be just the way you probably was speaking to someone. They felt the love in your voice. And when you send out harsh words and stuff like that, that's a vibration you send out. So when you shun people like doing them type of stuff, I know it triggers people, and that's one thing I never want to find myself doing. So at the same time, I always had that empathy to understand that it takes communication.
yeah.
Even if I don't understand what that person is saying, I still will do my best to try and understand, because I have to understand that there is something this person is trying to express. Now, they're
Yeah.
not me and I'm not them, so I don't expect them to get it out all one shot, but I will have the patience to listen, because it's very important to that person. So I take that time out and they make that time out.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have to go. My mom's on her way home, and we're gonna go to the DMV. So,
Yeah, do
All
you?
right, stay on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Stay on the sidewalk, everybody. Addie's driving today, so stay in the road. Stay on the
wow.
sidewalk. Addie, one more time. I appreciate you coming up here, and I 100% said nothing but love your way for your strength and courage to come forward with your story, and that's for you, sweetheart. 100%. You got a big brother right here. I ain't never going nowhere. Tell you right now,
yeah, right,
I will fuck
right,
people up for
right.
you, and I mean that shit, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, Adi, it was nice being on panel with you for the first time. Warm presence, like the energy says. You got a big brother Rachel too, so it's all family. It's all love.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
No, thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye,
All right,
Addie.
Adi.
Everybody, throw some purple and pink hearts up in here for Addie. Show her some love as she's getting out of here today, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. I'm going to follow suit. I usually keep these right around an hour, but Temper, it's always a pleasure having you. It's always a pleasure having you up on panel. Your words, your intellect, it's all welcomed and much appreciated. I appreciate it, brother.
All right, bro. Anytime, man.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, everybody, I'm going to get out of here myself. Somebody throw some purple and pink hearts in there for me, please, because my computer won't let me do that for whatever reason. I would appreciate it very much if you did so. Um, yeah. I think this was a very good and informative FBI Friday. Um, most of all, I want to thank everybody for showing up, being here, participating in this live stream. I think my Mondays and Fridays live streams are more important to me than any other streams I do throughout the week. This is one really great child predator catcher group on YouTube called PCI. Stands for Predator Catchers Indianapolis. Friends Eric, Sandra, and Brooklyn. They work close with law enforcement. That's good. That's good. That's good. Peace and love, Addie. Look at all this love you're getting, girl. Hell yeah. Aw, Justine. For real. That's right. Mike D. Yes, indeed. Oh, see you, Pence Queen. Hugs right back, girl. I love you too, sweetheart. Just know I'll give you a big bear hug too. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Voice for Victims, CFM's Queen, thank you for being here. The Real Justine Kasprick, thank you for being here. Jersey, thank you for being here. Addybug, thank you for being here. Temper, thank you for being here. Mike D in the house, thank you for being here, my friend. I appreciate it. Let me see. I know I forgot a couple people. Sergeant Modog, Sarge. Can't really do it that good with that arm because it's all fucking stick solid. One of the most solid motherfuckers I know. Tell you what, right now. Tell you what. I'm looking for it. Where to go? Shit. Stick rules, everybody. Stick fucking rules. Sergeant Modog, Mike D, Justine, Jersey, CFM's Queen, stick solid. Absolutely fucking love you guys. Thank you for being here. VFV, thank you for being here. Well, the thing is, I'm getting out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it so much. Mary's Gemini, thank you for being here. I think that just about covers everybody. I might have missed one or two of you. And if I did, I apologize. Please forgive me. I am not perfect, nor what I want to be. This is G2K. Two things, everybody. Number one, try to love one another right now because you might not get a chance to do so tomorrow. In fact, there are people that are here today that won't get that chance to do so tomorrow. So we might as well take advantage of it while we can. And number two, tell your friends about me because they're going to want to know. Get to know. Laters and have a good day. And if I don't see you by this weekend, to all those who have lost their lives in combat, fighting to keep freedoms intact, may y'all rest in peace. Thank you for letting me be me. Laters. Man, I freaking love you guys. I really do, man. I really do. Laters.